Since Charles Darwin put forth his theory of evolution nearly 2 centuries ago, the debate between his supporters and followers of creationism has been ongoing. In recent times, a focus of the debate has been which theory, if either, should be taught in the public school system. Supporters of creationism, also known as intelligent design, can be broadly defined as people who reject natural scientific explanations of the known universe in favor of special creation by a supernatural entity. There is no scientific evidence to support these views, and given that science cannot test supernatural possibilities, they cannot be considered a part of science. Evolution consists of changes in hereditary traits of a population of organisms as successive generations replace one another. It is not individual organisms that evolved, but rather the population as a whole. As such, different populations of the same organisms could evolve differently to become different organisms altogether. Most adults support teaching creationism as an alternative to evolution, with just under 30% supporting teaching only evolution. The only group that shows a preference to solely teach evolution is the demographic that did not align themselves with any religion. These results show little change from a similar study that was done 30 years prior. A Penn State study that surveyed nearly 1,000 teachers reported that 60% of them spent less than 5 hours on evolution education, citing limited knowledge of evolution themselves, in addition to a desire to avoid confrontation with students and parents who prefer creationism. At a time when over 50% of American students lack proficiency in science, this is disheartening. Evolution education is important due to the fact that it helps students understand the nature, processes, and limits of science, as well as showing how to identify evidence gathered using well-established scientific practices and principles. Understanding the scientific process and how theories are tested is a vital part of science in general. Creationism, however, works to undermine the science curriculum due to causing confusion as to what can be classified as actual science. This isn't to say that creationism should be entirely disregarded. Some groups actually believe in a form of evolutionary creationism that supports the belief that evolution occurs, but believe the supernatural hand guides it. Science and religion are often at odds in our society due to being based on different aspects of human experience. Science stems from observation and examination of the natural world, whereas religious faith is not bound by empirical evidence and often involves supernatural forces that cannot be investigated scientifically. Pitting science and religion against each other tends to create controversy where none needs to exist. The issue of which theory should be taught in public schools seems to be solved by the First Amendment, particularly the Establishment Clause, which prohibits the government from endorsing any particular belief. Evolution is in line with the First Amendment due to being rooted in scientific theory, while creationism's religious roots could be seen as a violation of separation of church and state. The debate between supporters of evolution and creationism isn't likely to end anytime soon, but a greater dedication to evolution education may lead students to achieve a greater proficiency in science, as well as allow teachers to no longer fear reprisal from parents and students who do support creationism.